Welcome to Teachers Module for ICT Integration. We will learn about what is ICT, ICT integration and importance in education, care of electronic devices, safety and security of devices and users, environmental consideration in use of ICTs, computer systems, manipulative skills, introduction to basic file operations, data safety and security, basic troubleshooting skills, e-waste and management. Learn and enjoy. By the end of this module, you should be able to explain the meaning of ICT integration in education, state advantages of ICT integration in education, highlight ways in which you can take care of laptops, outline safety and security measures of using laptops, discuss environmental consideration in use of ICTs, demonstrate various mouse skills, demonstrate various keyboard skills, demonstrate understanding of basic file operations, demonstrate understanding of basic file organization and access, demonstrate understanding of data safety and security, explain basic troubleshooting skills, and explain e-waste guidelines for schools. Background. For proper integration of ICT in teaching and learning, teachers have a central role to play. As such, the 21st century teachers have to be confident, digitally competent, and have the necessary ICT skills. Introduction. Technology is a necessary part of pedagogy. In today's life, most homes have some electronic devices, be it a cell phone or a radio. As the world becomes technology dependent, the allure of having knowledge at your fingertips is an empowerment to the teaching and learning process. ICTs have changed the way we work, live, and play. The purpose of this manual is to help teachers appreciate ICT in the teaching and learning process. What is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that accepts data or input, processes it at a high speed, and produces information or output. This definition covers all electronic devices such as desktop computers, laptops, cell phones, among others. What is ICT? ICT refers to technologies that provide access to information through communications. It focuses primarily on communication technologies such as networks, cell phones, and other communication medium. ICT is a tool, and it includes hardware such as laptops and software including Word. ICT is an overall name used to describe all the computer and communication hardware and software used to enhance learning and manage educational programs in organizations and educational institutions. What is ICT integration? Technology integration is the use of technology resources such as computers, mobile devices like smartphones and tablets, digital cameras, social media platforms, networks, software applications, and the Internet. ICT integration in education refers to the seamless incorporation of technology to support and enhance student engagement in meaningful learning and attainment of curriculum objectives. It supports various interactions such as teacher-teacher, learner-teacher, learner-to-learner, and learner-to-interface. Successful technology integration is achieved when the use of technology is routine and transparent, accessible and readily available for the task at hand, and supporting the curricular goals and helping the students to effectively reach their goals. When technology integration is at its best, it becomes a seamless part of the learning process. Students are often more actively engaged in projects when technology tools are used. When effectively integrated into the curriculum, technology tools can extend learning in powerful ways. These tools can provide students and teachers with access to up-to-date primary source material, methods of collecting or recording data, ways to collaborate with students, teachers, and experts around the world, opportunities for expressing understanding via multimedia, learning that is relevant and assessment that is authentic, and training for publishing and presenting their new knowledge. Why is ICT integration important? Advantages of ICT integration in education. Teachers in the 21st century must be creative, confident, digitally competent, and have necessary ICT skills in order for effective ICT integration in teaching and learning process. Teachers who recognize ICTs as problem-solving tools change the way they teach. They move from a behavioral approach to a more constructivist approach. Technology and interactive multimedia are more conducive to project-based learning. Students are engaged in their learning using these powerful tools and can become creators and critics instead of just consumers. The following are advantages of ICT integration in education. It enables pupils to easily understand difficult concepts. It helps to improve pupil performance and skills. It improves the quality of teaching and learning by allowing learners to learn independently, while the teacher can spend more time with pupils who require personal attention. It makes teaching and learning more interesting by varying the teaching-learning pedagogy, which motivates learners. By learning through stimulation, it reduces risk that pupils are exposed to dangerous experiments and activities. It connects pupils to various sources of information. It enhances learner-centric participation, collaborative learning, real-time evaluation, and consultation to resource people. Safety and environmental impact. Electronic devices are very vulnerable to breakages and failure. Technology is more likely to fail when you least expect, and thus it's crucial to accept this as part and parcel of integration. It's advisable as teachers to learn how to overcome simple issues and take them in their stride as they implement curriculum. The following tips elaborate on how to maximize the use of your devices. Care of laptops. Seek help when in doubt. The golden rule is not to attempt any repairs, installations, or prompts if you are not sure of how it's done or possible outcomes. Always read the manual when interacting with a new device to learn the different signs of failure. Electronic devices are stored in controlled non-humid areas. This is to prevent rusting of the metallic components and circuitry. Store your devices in an airy room, preferably with fans or big windows for air circulation. Always start up and shut down your laptop using the correct procedure. Safety and security of devices and users. Do not touch naked wires, port terminal, connectors or circuitry within the computer. Switch off the power supply when not in use at all times. Avoid unnecessary movement when using a laptop to avoid damages. If you must move, then shut it down or put it on standby to avoid head crash. Only use the provided charger for your devices to avoid over or undercharge. Environmental consideration in use of ICTs. Store devices away from dust and smoke particles. Dust particles are tiny and tend to penetrate the drives and disk and settle on the disk's surface. This creates scratches when the disk spins, leading to loss of data. Do not store flammable substances near laptops, such as liquid cleaners, papers, rugs, and other chemicals. Store devices in areas that are dry, for example, not prone to flooding or water logging. Do not throw away your broken devices. Hand it in for recycling, for example, at Computer for Schools Recycling Plant or Safaricom Center. Computer systems. A computer system is made up of three main components: hardware, software, and liveware. Hardware. Hardware comprises of the parts that we can see and touch. These are all the electric and mechanical parts that make up the visible devices. Hardware is classified into three. Input. These are devices that we use to enter data into the device. They comprise the keyboard, the keypad, the touch screen, and the microphone. Storage. These devices are used to store data and instructions, for example, memory sticks, hard disk, that is internal and external, and CDs or DVDs. Output. These are devices that interact with the users to give feedback or prompts. They include light-emitting diodes or small lights, screen, speakers, and printers. Output. These are devices that interact with the users to give feedback or prompts. They include light-emitting diodes or small lights, screen, speakers, and printers. Mouse skills. The mouse is an important input device. It is the most common used due to its flexibility and ease of use. Laptops come with a touchpad which has functions similar to a mouse. The following are some of the skills associated with these two. Right-click. This involves clicking the right side button once. This is used to pop up a menu on which several choices can be selected. Double-click. This involves clicking the left side button twice in rapid succession. This is used to execute a command of open a file. Drag and drop. This involves placing the mouse pointer on an item, clicking the right side button without releasing, moving the item to a new location, then releasing it. This is used to move files, folders, and items to a different location. Block. This involves placing the mouse pointer next to an item or characters, clicking the right side button without releasing, moving the cursor over until the item is selected. This is used to target an item for command execution. Scrolling. This involves placing the mouse pointer at the scroll bar and then dragging up or down, left or right to move a document within a window. Keyboard skills. The keyboard is an important input device. It is used to input information, that is, text, numbers, and symbols, into an application. The smaller version of a keyboard normally found in smaller devices is known as a keypad. It is found in smaller devices such as cell phone. The following are some of the skills associated with the keyboard. Function keys. These are used for special purposes depending on the application running. For example, in Windows, F1 is used for seeking help. F9 and F10 are used to control the volume in a media player. Alphanumeric keys. These are used to input data in the form of text, numbers, and symbols. Shortcut keys. This is a combination of keys that are used to execute commands. For example, in MS Office Suite, Ctrl+S is used to save work that is open. Others include Ctrl+C for copying, Ctrl+V for paste, Ctrl+X for cut. The correct way of using shortcut keys is press the first key and hold it down. Press the second key. Release both keys. Software. Software is a set of instructions that are stored in the device as programs. They enable manipulation of both hardware and data to produce desired information. Software is categorized into two: system software and application software. System software. These are sets of programs that allow the users to interact with the hardware and different hardware to interact with each other. System software includes operating systems, for example, Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, and Mac operating system. Utility software analyzes, organizes, and optimizes all the functions of the system. For example, backups, disk maintenance, and file management. Application software. This is software that is designed to carry out a specific task. For example, word processors. These are software used to create, edit, save, and print Word documents, for example, MS Word. Spreadsheets. These are software used to manipulate numerical data through calculations, analysis in tabular form, for example, MS Excel. Databases. These are software systems that are designed to allow creation, querying, and managing information stored in an organized structure. It's also referred to as database management system, for example, MS Access. Desktop publishing. These are software systems that are designed to allow creation of documents using page layout to assemble, design, and produce commercial quality material such as magazines, brochures, pamphlets, among others. For example, MS Publisher and Adobe PageMaker. Other specified tasks. Software can also be designed on request to carry out specific special tasks such as payroll, exam analysis, and stock control. Liveware entails the computer users who manipulate the other components to achieve a certain objective. Introduction to Basic File Operations. Create. Click on File button on the menu bar. Select New on the drop-down menu. Name your file and save. Basic File Operations. Open, rename, move, send to, delete. Activity. Create a new Word file and save it as digital in My Documents folder. Type in 10 names for students going for a field trip and save your work. Indicate against each name the amounts paid for the trip. Save your work as digital too. Open My Documents folder. Right-click on the digital file and send it to the desktop. Click on the digital file and move it by dragging to the top part of the desktop. Right-click on the digital file and copy. Paste it on the desktop and rename it Digital 3. Delete digital file on the desktop. Introduction to File Organization and Access. Folders, subfolders, files, menus, pop-up, drop-down, side, maximize, restore, minimize, multi-window manipulation. Activity. Create a folder on the desktop and save it as School. Open the School folder. Create 2 subfolders. Save one as Teachers and the other as Students. Open the Teachers folder. Create 2 subfolders. Save one as Sciences and the other as Languages. Regular saving of work. This involves regular saving of work to avoid loss in case of unexpected events such as blackouts or system hanging. Most contemporary software have an auto-recovery feature that saves the work automatically in set intervals of time, for example, 2 minutes. However, it's important to save your work to be safe. Backup of current files. Backing up files involves copying them in a separate directory in a detached memory away from the main system. One may use a memory stick or a CD or DVD to copy and store important files. This will protect against file corruption, disk failure, and file loss. Use of passwords. Passwords are personal locks that comprise a combination of text and symbols. The ubiquitous PIN used in bank ATMs and cell phones are good examples of access lock. A good password should be simple enough to remember, but contain a mixture of numbers, letters, and symbols to be hard to crack. Use of updated antivirus software. A virus is a malicious set of instructions that disrupts the normal working of a computer and produces undesired output. Viruses may lead to loss of data and, in extreme cases, crashing of the system. Use of antivirus software is recommended to guard against viruses. The antivirus software must be updated to enable it to overcome new viruses. Good use etiquette. While care is important to check loss of data, it's imperative that the user be the first line of defense through observing some few fundamentals. These include not opening unsolicited mail, avoid accepting any unknown prompts and conveniently cancel them or press escape, and report any unusual event or action as soon as you notice it. Basic troubleshooting skills. Basic setup. All devices need to be set up before you use them for the first time. For the sake of this tutorial, we shall discuss a laptop to make it more precise. The laptop comes with a user manual that is well detailed on how to connect the power and start up for use. Some tips to avoid any avoidable damages. Do not switch on the main power supply until everything else is set. Read the user manual and stick to the instructions to the letter. Do not force any connections between cables and laptop. The connectors are designed to fit with minimal pressure, thus when you find it not fitting, then you may be putting it the wrong way. Take your time to observe and figure out. Definition of e-waste. E-waste refers to electronic appliances such as computers, laptops, TVs, DVD players, mobile phones, MP3 players, among others, including their assembly, sub-assembly, components and consumables, which have been disposed of or unwanted by their original owners. The term e-waste is a generic term encompassing various forms of electrical and electronic equipment that are old, end-of-life electronic appliances, or have ceased to be of any value to their owners. E-waste includes electronics which are destined for reuse, resale, salvage, recycling, or disposal. E-waste is the most rapidly growing problem in the waste stream due to its quantity, toxicity, and carcinogenicity. Often, the toxic materials is improperly disposed and thus poses a threat to human health and the environment. Hazards associated with e-waste. E-waste contains significant quantities of toxic metals and chemicals. If these are left untreated and disposed of in landfills or not recycled by using proper methods of recycling, they leach into the surrounding soil, water, and the atmosphere and cause adverse effects on human health and environment. Many elements of this waste contain poisonous substances such as lead, tin, mercury, cadmium, and barium, which cause severe diseases like cancer, birth defects, neurological disorders, and respiratory disorders. E-waste management. The problem of e-waste has forced environmental agencies of many countries to innovate, develop, and adopt environmentally sound options and strategies for e-waste management with a view to mitigate and control the ever-growing threat of e-waste to the environment and human health. Many countries have inadequate infrastructure, absence of appropriate legislations for e-waste, approach and commitments of the concerned. Hence, the development of sustainable and effective e-waste management system in the country for ensuring environmental as well as occupational safety and health is welcomed. Management of e-waste in Kenya. Kenya now has e-waste plants set up within Nairobi to recycle all types of e-waste and provide safe disposal of e-waste. Some of the plants include Safaricom, CFSK, and East Africa Compliant Recycling, or EACR. They accept, dismantle, and separate all e-waste components, not just the valuable resources. Plastics, glass, and batteries are all disposed in accordance with the highest international criteria while generating local income and employment opportunities. These firms' contacts are available on the internet. These initiatives provide Kenya with an opportunity to be at the forefront of developing new standards for IT, e-waste recycling, and proper care for the environment. E-waste guidelines for consumers. The consumer can either be an individual, for example, a teacher, or a school that owns a device which falls into one of the e-waste categories and which is considered to have ceased to be of any value. Consumers need to separate e-waste from other wastes to facilitate collection, treatment, and recycling. Dispose e-waste generated to the e-waste collection centers. Sell or donate e-waste to licensed refurbishers. Take back equipment to the manufacturer, importer, or assembler if they allow it. Dump e-waste at the licensed dumping site specified for the e-waste. And be responsible for following recommended disposal methods or procedures, especially dates of expiry or end of usage period for the product. E-waste guidelines for schools. Schools are recipients of electrical and electronic goods. Unfortunately, most of the second-hand products are not inspected before they are donated. Coupled with poor handling and use, their lifespan becomes shorter, resulting in huge amounts of e-waste in most schools. In order to manage e-waste, learning institutions need to create awareness and conduct sensitization campaigns on responsible e-waste management, develop memorandum of understandings or MOUs with PROs for take-back, recycling, and refurbishing of e-waste at life end. Develop mechanisms to ensure that inspection certificates clearly specify end-of-life date and who bears responsibility thereafter, and develop and mainstream e-waste education in curricula.